Hello and welcome to the 10th episode of the Neotaku podcast. I'm your host for this episode at least, Pedantic Romantic, and joining me today is Mirage.
Hey guys.
Last episode we got to hear the sweet young boys of the Neotaku podcast give their sweet young boys, so now it's the sweet young girls cast.
Because girls are only the thing that matters to me. I need those titties.
Girls rule, boys drool.
Yeah, high five, dude. So we should probably talk honestly about why specifically we like sweet young girls more than sweet young boys.
The concept of this sweet young girl.
What's your main reason, Locke? Why do you like girls over guys?
Well, I think it comes down to the sweet young boy, as Joji and David laid it out, which is sort of this young shonen protagonist guy, which has its appeal to be sure. But I think that there's an aesthetic appeal to the sweet young girl that sort of supersedes a narrative investment, and the female aesthetic is just superior.
I feel that. I feel it a lot, especially in my own art. I don't draw men very often. It's mostly females. And I think it's just, for me personally, I find, men are cool. I find females 20 times more attractive. And I think there's because there are so many different females in fiction that are just so interesting and so intriguing that, it's really hard for me to honestly go down to the cereal box level of a guy. I don't know. Sounds really sexist.
Let's put it this way. If you stick a guy in female clothing, they become significantly more interesting, which I think speaks to the universal strength and appeal of the female aesthetic accoutrements.
That is pretty true. Fair warning, this list for me is pretty much going to be my waifus, so, but it's fine. So, do you want to start out, or?
Sure. We'll go right to the top.
Okay.
Kyoto Animation, KyoAni, they're known for their propensity for creating top-tier sweet young girls. But the sweetest and the youngest of girls, is Naoko Yamada, the queen of KyoAni. Because not only is she a sweet young girl, but she's got an appreciation for the sweet young girl. If you see any interviews with her, it's adorable, it's sweet, and it's young. The appreciation she has for her cute young girls. She's got a real deep emotional attachment to them. It's endearing, and it allows her to in turn create some of the sweetest and the youngest girls in anime. I love that director.
I really like how Naoko Yamada, she really I remember Digi talking about this at one point, and it's how Naoko Yamada takes the girl and takes her in kind of a more natural, proportionate kind of just aesthetic life kind of way. Like the girls aren't skinny thin girls like we usually see in most shows. They're chubbier, they're thicker, they feel like real girls almost, and that's what I love honestly with the marshmallowiness of Naoko Yamada's characters.
They've got a substantialness to them, both in design and then in the extra fullness of character that they have, because she's got a real focus on humanity.
I mean, I feel like that really it comes through on all her work, stuff in Tomoko Market or something like that. All the girls seem to have this just kind of roundedness that doesn't fade away, rather, because you see a lot of these beautiful pretty girls in shonen or anything, and they're there, they're cool, but it doesn't feel like they really leave a mark in the situation, or can't feel like they can live in our spaces, rather. I don't know, I find them I find a lot of the design, though, for stuff like K-On! And Tomoko Market very fascinating. The KyoAni aesthetic is very interesting.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And just the way she has an unrestrained marveling and revelry in the cuteness of girls.
It's very
Excuse
cute.
me. She really gets it.
It's very cute. And it's also funny when people start arguing, oh, just K-On! Or anything is just like, it's otaku pandering. It's pandering to those kind of people.
It's pandering to Naoko Yamada's tastes 100%.
So she's a pretty sweet ass girl, I'll tell you what.
If you want the purest moe experience, just read some of her interviews.
She's so cute. One of my favorite directors, which if we want to get back into sweet young girls, I'm trying to remember her name off the top of my head because I always forget it for some reason. I'm really trying to retrace my steps. I'm kind of half awake. Is Sayo Yamamoto. Sayo Yamamoto is one of my favorite sweet girls. She's a spicy girl also as a sub.
Oh yeah,
spicy girl. I mean, I love how she. From the small amount of stuff I've read about Sayo Yamamoto, I really look up to her as not just a director, but as a woman. Like, she's really passionate about what she does, and especially females in her narratives and stuff like that, like Michiko Tahachin, or her own rendition of Fujiko Mine. I find her really fascinating. And then, on top of it, when she falls into the sweet boy category, she's...
Yes.
A lot of her sweet boys have very feminine traits. She can't really divorce herself from it, and she's as bad as as like Naoko.
Yeah.
She's bad as Naoko. I love. What do you like about Sayo Yamamoto?
I mean, first and foremost, it's got to be her sense of style. I mean, I'm a sucker for jazz in anime and anything sort of inhabiting that aesthetic. So whether it be Fujiko Mine or the recent Kakegurui OP, which she directed, so it's brilliant. And her command over sexuality is top notch.
It seems like whatever she works on, she adds this different flavor of style to what she's doing. That just, it doesn't feel childish. It feels very mature, but it also feels playful. And I love that aspect of her directing and her just work in general. Very, very nice. Very good. 10 out of 10 girl.
Very young. Very sweet.
Very sweet girl. Let's see here. Is there somebody particular, like just a character that you really like? That you could count sweet young girl?
Before we do that, we forgot to do a sync test, so we'll cut this part out too. Count to 3 and we'll do a clap test. Right. It's been a while. Rusty on the podcast fundamentals. Okay. Hopefully we'll be...
The professionalism is on another level today.
Yeah. And back from a short break of professionalism, some 2D sweet young girl action. Let's go with Kumiko. One of the very sweetest and the very youngest girls.
Which show is she from?
Just so she's from Hibike Euphonium. She's the main character there. Really, all you need to present the jury as evidence of this claim is a Kumiko hair floofing gif. She's got the floofiest hair.
Oh, yes, her. She is very floofy. She's very cute. I see gifs of her all the time on Tumblr, and she's, like, very aesthetic. She feels almost country girl-like-ish. I like it a lot.
She's great. I think the core element to her appeal, and it's grounded in a relatable sense of pathos, is her desire to get involved and help people out, conflicting with a tendency of hers to sort of avoid sticking her nose into things, and that forms the core of her arc throughout the series. But it also, at a more basic level, just feeds into a moe she has, where she is sort of tentatively sticking her head into things, but then she's gonna peek back around that corner and hide herself away when the chance at actual contact comes up.
She sounds like a little dork,
honestly. Oh, yeah.
And from the small amount I have seen of Hibike Euphonium stuff, I really like a lot of the interactions she has with the black-haired girl. I can't remember her name.
Reina, probably.
She's very cute. 10 out of 10.
Oh, yeah.
Would 10 out of 10. The girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I guess we'll just do it back and forth.
Yeah.
One of my personal favorite sweet girls that was actually one of my first sweet girls when it came to anime was Misuzu Kamio from Air.
Yeah.
I'm a very, very big Key fan, as people know, and I played Air as one of my first visual novels, and I just fell in love with Misuzu. Some people can definitely say that Misuzu is just kind of a way more airheaded Nagisa, I guess, but the thing that really sticks out about Misuzu for me is simply her struggle with connecting with other people and trying her best to connect with other people and failing magnanimously. she's a very, and yet she doesn't let her get down too much. She's always willing to go to the next vending machine, get some peach juice out, shove it in somebody's face, and just make you love her. She's adorable. And Potato will come and lick your face a little bit as well too. If I was to get a tiny bit into spoiler territory, because her story is so tragic, there's something just so melancholy about her that I just adore. I just adore sad girls. But she is definitely my favorite Key girl by far. And you?
I guess we can go for Key girls. Let's think of what my favorite Key girl would be. It's probably Tomoyo from Clanad.
Tomoyo's pretty great. A lot of people really like Tomoyo.
Yeah. Because they gave her that OVA episode as a what if. I'm assuming that's in response to her popularity, yeah. She's great. She's a badass. She's a little more sort of worldly and self-possessed than the other characters, I think. So she's got that level of experience to her, but then that just creates a greater contrast with her own vulnerabilities.
She's kind of different than most characters in these kind of harem visual key kind of situations, where because she's so aloof, but she's so self-assured, she doesn't come off kind of like as a cute girl. She comes off as kind of like more of a cool girl. If that's getting across. I find, because like back when Clanad was made, like those girls existed, but they felt very artificial. It's the same kind of thing with like KyoAni girls. I could honestly see a Tomoyo existing. She's a little too perfect, but I could see it happening.
Yeah.
She's very cool. I like her. 10 out of 10. I'm just jumping all over the place. Well, if I could come back up with another visual novel girl that I really like, just in general, it's no surprise to anyone that one of my favorite girls in a visual novel currently is Cinnamon from Nekopara. And I have too much passion for this earthly world to explain why I love Cinnamon so much. Pros. Big titties. Big titties.
Whoa, okay. Starting off strong.
She's kind of lewd, kind of slutty, just a little bit. But she's not that kind of slutty where she's gonna sleep with anybody. She's gonna be in the back of the classroom and she's gonna probably come at the stupidest thing. She's gonna probably be thinking about like a pastry or something and just, oh, my panties are wet. Fuck, I need to go back to my house. She's adorable and she has this very subtle, but if you don't know, but if you notice just a bit, she has a very slight magical girl aesthetic with her clothes, and that's already a sale for me.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to be a Scottish Fold or a Munchkin cat. I think actually that's Azuki, but she's supposed to be a Scottish Fold, and Scottish Folds have the little floppy ears, and they're just dumb looking. And she's dumb looking, but she's a good dumb looking. What else? Oh yeah, and she wants to fuck everything. That too. But so but she's so pure and so cute that, you know, when she touches your boob and she's like, "Want to fuck?" You're just like, I mean, I can't say no.
So I don't know like much of anything about Nekopara. You have boobs as well? Is that the perspective there?
It's more like I appreciate a good rack, especially in the engine that Nekopara runs in.
Oh, okay.
And I'm more like, some people are butt people, some people are boob people, some people are thigh people. I'm definitely a combination of the torso, I suppose. Is there anybody with like rather more of a lewd connotation that you count as a sweet girl?
Let's think. No, I think I'm just too pure and sweet for any lewdness.
I guess I'm the lewd one here.
Yeah.
I'm just the type who's into the sultry little cat vixen, I guess. That's pretty... I'm a degenerate. I subscribe to our Nekomimi. Don't kill me.
Oh no.
Alright. Give us some purity.
Sweet KyoAni girls for me. So, I mean, we gotta hit up K-On! But for the sweetest and the youngest of the K-Ons...
You should probably tell people our favorite K-On! Girl.
Probably gotta be Yui.
It's gotta be Mugi for me. Those eyebrows.
Mugi's strong.
I just want to pet those eyebrows.
Yeah.
Like the little caterpillars they are.
Okay, we'll go with Mugi is the sweetest and Yui is the youngest. We'll split
Yui's
the designation
cute.
for the K-On! Girls.
Yui's very, very cute. Well, Mio and Ritsuko are pretty great and everything. They're great in their own way. Yui is this level of, I'm a fucking dumbass.
It's so good.
That it's just, you can't help but admire her. She's the perfect girl to have the toast shoved into her face and is just gonna run into a wall. She's like Serena levels of just dork, and I love her. She was fantastic. God, fucking K-On! So good.
And then if we want to get really young, small Yui is potentially the greatest thing humanity has ever created.
If only we had more small K-On!, then this world would be a better place.
I want a whole series.
Gosh.
Small K-On! Season 1, 2, 3, and the film.
I personally really love Mugi because of I don't know why I've always just been really into this kind of like character trait, but I'm really into the Ojo-sama. Not like the Japanese Ojo-sama specifically, but like just like rich girl who like is super into like French or Rococo kind of style, and she's just a super big fucking snob. But Mugi kind of breaks against that and is like, oh yeah, I'm just fucking rich. Oh yeah, I just have this. I can buy you a guitar.
Yeah.
What is it? How much is it? Oh man, no, it's easy. I own the store.
Like it's not a prominent part of her character on a continual basis just because she doesn't bring it up and it doesn't mean much to her or seem to. It just will come up whenever it's appropriate, like whenever anything financial comes up. Oh yeah, I can buy that.
And that's the greatest thing, honestly, that makes Mugi even the more, like, just, she's unegregious. She's not unapologetic. She doesn't, like, oh, man, I have so much fucking money. She's just like, hey, dude, I can help you, bro. How much is it? Oh,
yeah, she's not even conscious of it, really.
And, like, her richness doesn't define her. She isn't... just isn't greedy. She isn't selfish, and that's
Yeah.
And she also plays like one of the chillest roles as like she's just the she's the bassist, right? I believe correctly. She's in her little bass.
She's the keyboard.
She is the keyboard. Why I haven't watched K-On! Like fucking ever, but she's still the keyboard girl, and that fits her perfectly, and that's great. I love her. She's a 10 out of 10 wood caterpillar.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see here. If I was to get into something where you wouldn't expect to find a sweet girl, but you found one anyways, she's kind of complicated, but Farness from Berserk. I don't know if you follow too much Berserk yourself, but
I haven't yet. I need to, but I haven't.
Farness is pretty much, she is a member of the Holy Church at the beginning of the book, and she's super fucking tsundere. She's super bitchy. She's super just angry. She's like, "Hey Guts, fuck you. That's not happening." And he's just like, "Fuck off." And after a few very naughty things with a horse and
Oh god.
and a thing or two after that, she's so complicated. Her path is so like fire is one of her like biggest motifs, and just madness and being cooped up and sealed away, that once she like breaks out of this really tight, rigid religious kind of lifestyle and leaves the church and goes with Guts, she breaks down into this more soft, tender, dependable mother character, kind of, especially when characters like Shirik or Casca, especially Casca, come into the picture. And she's kind of like if that one girl from high school who was super into Jesus stopped believing in Jesus and instead became a pagan. God, little witchy girls are my fucking shit. I can't live without them. So, and also Farness is she's just a great fucking supportive character. She just cares about everybody around her, and she would literally fucking kill herself probably if Casca or Shirik or Guts or anybody probably died. So, that's why I love her.
If we want to talk about how good little witchy girls are, then we've gotta go to Little Witch Academia. And I think the unquestionable sweetest and youngest of those girls is Akko.
I think Akko's pretty cute. I'm coming from a background of watching the movie and the first like few episodes of the anime, but Akko,
she's so dumb. She's
so
real
great.
Dumb.
My tied favorite, personally, for favorite Little Witch Academia character is tied between Diana and fucking Susie. I can't.
Susie is definitely my favorite. She's not sweet. She's the sourest and the youngest, I would say.
I think then, for my personal sweet girl from Little Witch Academia, I'd probably have to say Diana, because Diana does a 360 tsundere turnover, or she kind of does in like especially the movie. She does more of a gradual thing from what I understand in the series, and she's cool. I like that. Personally with Akko though, I really love her. It's this character that Akko and Yui kind of fall into, where it's this girl who is pretty normal. She's like almost actually the most normal character, like out of a protagonist kind of type, where you can see her kind of melding into whatever situation she's in and going at the best of it. It's definitely...
She, because of her life circumstances, just ended up getting taken by witchcraft and pursuing that wholeheartedly.
Like, she's not Genki, like some main character roles, but she's very driven. And because she's so driven and so passionate about what she wants to do, and who she wants to be. It's just, I just love passion. Passionate girls are the best.
Yes.
That's my favorite thing. I mean, I may be on the more crazy side of passionate, where like I'll kill somebody for you, or something, but passion is definitely like one of the best driving forces of a sweet girl, in my opinion. Personally, I like sweet girls. They're so good.
Yes.
And like in the magical Harry Potter universe that fucking Little Witch Academia is in, I feel like that kind of trope really just it just really is just good. It's just a good trope.
It's very good.
Let's see here. If I could fall kind of into my idol hole, one of my favorite sweet girls is Hanayo from Love Live, and she is the sweetest little peachy peach that I ever did see. She's very passionate about her rice. She's, I think it's
relatable.
This thing about especially, I don't know, like shows that have like kind of like a database kind of element to it, like an otaku database element, where it's like idol shows or mech shows or something like that, where if you have a character that's a giant fucking geek of that thing, they're 20 times more likely to be your favorite character.
Oh yeah.
And that especially falls in for Hanayo, where Hanayo is like so fucking passionate about idols and like being an idol herself, but she's not outwardly like, she's fucking Jesus Criminy. I'm trying to remember names, and I'm having brain farts every 5 seconds. Do you have a favorite Love Live girl?
I haven't watched Love Live yet.
Do you have a favorite idol girl just in general?
I'm not sure. I don't think I've watched enough idol anime to have discovered one.
I don't know, like
Idol Master's probably higher priority than Love Live, just because it's got that sweet X Trigger, X Gynax staff composition.
I like it. Always kind of surprises me, not to turn this into Idolcast again, but it always kind of surprises me that I came into Love Live first before Idol Master. I still don't know how to even get into Idol Master. I'm like,
ask Kentaro Miura. He seems to have gotten that down.
Ask him why he isn't fucking writing my fucking next new chapter. Asshole. Oh, jeez. No, the thing personally, though, specifically about Hanayo that really sticks with me is that she's shy, she's reserved, but she knows what the fuck she's talking about. And because she's so passionate about what she talks about, she's 20 times better. Also, her voice actress is very good. 10 out of 10. Would hug. She's great.
And on that note, Kan Hanazawa. Like, everyone says she's the best voice, she's the best seiyuu. And, like, even the people who are hipsters say she is, just because it's so uncontested. Like, you can't, no matter how much you want to pick someone else or be like, oh, everyone says her, you just can't.
Kana Hanazawa is pretty great. I think she's a pretty great voice actress. I don't know much about her personally as like a person, but I know that like the roles that I have seen her in pretty much everything now at this point.
Yeah.
She's pretty great and she's pretty cute. And
there's so many like bad roles she's cast in just because she's cast so much.
But
watching,
like, if I could say, somebody who's in that many roles as like a voice actress, she obviously is passionate about what she does.
Yeah.
And like,
well, so many of because now I watch like 50 new shows a season. So I see her in these crappy roles, but no matter the role, she injects life into it. And it's really remarkable how she's the best part of a lot of the series she's in.
Do you have a personal favorite role that Kana Hanazawa has done?
Let's see. I'm sure I do.
I'm looking through my anime list and remembering everything and just being like, oh, I really like this. Oh, I really like this.
Ooh. Let's see. Let's look at everything first.
I think personally because I'm really into Ao no Oni. I mean, not Ao no Oni. I think it's Ao no Oni. No, Ao no Exorcist. I'm really into Shiemi. I read the manga first and then I came into the anime, and her role as Shiemi is just the fucking best. Shiemi's a sweet girl too, but I will get into that later. Very good. 10 out of 10.
I'd say strong contenders for best roles from her would be Hinata from Three Gatsu no Lion, Sangatsu no Lion. And also Mato Kuroi from Black Rock Shooter.
That one's pretty good too, definitely. Not my personal favorite, but she did a really good job in Durarara as a fucking Henri. I'm not a big Henri fan though, personally, but she did a very good job as that as well.
She did Maria from Shinsekai Yori.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And what she's popular for, and what people, at least I know her for, is Nadeko from Owari Monogatari. That's what I know her from, personally. I think she did a really fucking good job in that.
Yeah.
And I'm probably when that, I don't think it's been translated yet over here, but probably when the light novel comes out, I'll probably be just imagining her voice when reading her lines.
She used to be an idol.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, she's got 20 points back up on my list. So, definitely. My own favorite voice actress that I find that is one of my favorite sweet girls, and a lot of people tend to contest with me about this, and it's probably just because she voiced Misuzu, but Monica Riel.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, it's like, I'm somebody who likes the Sailor Moon old dub back when Serena had an auntie voice, but I fucking love Monica Riel, and I just love her work, and whenever her voice pops up, I'm like, my sister in arms. I don't know. Like, she's probably one of the only voice actresses, like, in dub that I would probably just walk up to and be like, can I have your autograph?
I'm not big on dubs, but she's one of those people who just about everyone says, like, she can do moe, which
she can.
Like, no one else can effectively.
And like, you know, even though it's kind of arguable, I find that her, like, again, her role in Air as Misuzu, she did moe the best I've ever seen in a fucking dub, period. She's also done Bulma, so...
The big one for me is Gunslinger Girl, and I mean, I watched that super early on, so I was okay on dubs regardless, but that one has a solid dub, and she was Angelica in that.
Yeah.
Sweet young alert Gunslinger Girl. That's really sweet and really young. That's a fantastic show. That's one of the very best, the very sweetest and very youngest of all the shows, Gunslinger Girl.
The bunch of sweet young girls. Before we get on to Gunslinger Girl, though, I'm trash. So she voiced Belarus in Hentalia Axis Power. And Belarus is pretty great. So I do prefer, though, the Japanese over that, sadly. So I'm sorry, sister. I'm going to take a walk on this one. Gunslinger Girls is pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I actually haven't watched it, but I really like, just in general, like, the girls in Gunslinger Girls seem, like, really just jarringly aesthetic, where they're just like, I have guns. I'm gonna fucking shoot you.
Gunslinger Girl, I watched super early on. I caught it on the Funimation channel back when that was still a thing. And I mean, the girls with guns aesthetic appeal is a strong one in and of itself, but it's so laden in pathos, and as an anime, so relatively methodically paced, at least in its first season, where the action takes a back seat, and I think the most impactful contribution the guns have is one scene that's always stuck with me, where it's them sitting in the room, they're having a little tea party there, and you get a contrast where it's a shot of their legs sort of dangling, not reaching the floor in their chairs, and then a gun strewed out on that table alongside their cups of tea, deconstructed. They're just, cleaning and greasing the parts, and it's such a powerful image. And the shit these girls go through, oof, it's powerful stuff.
One other thing that really contributes to making a sweet girl, in my personal opinion, is hardship and how they handle hardship. And
yeah,
I could definitely see in Gunslinger Girl, again, I can't talk from a point of view that I've actually read it, I haven't, is that, like, they seem like they have to go through a lot to do what they need to do. And because of that, and because of the adversity they have to face, they're even more sweet and moe and great.
One of the driving forces is how each of them sort of deal with what they're faced with and their different attitudes towards it. And I mean, some of them totally embrace it and view this as like the greatest thing in their lives, which is in part due to the conditioning and brainwashing that they face, making them think that. But it's a fascinating series, for sure.
It sounds like freaking sick as heck. If we were to get into sweet young girls that are in shows that are very unorthodox, rather, like I really fucking love Hana from Michikoto Hachin. I think she is the sweetest little baby that becomes a little rebel baby as well. Yeah.
She's the sweetest and the sassiest girl.
She's sassiness is just contributes to sweetness.
Yeah.
It just makes the cookie even more sweet.
It's a salty sweet flavor combination. You need some sassy sweet in your life.
You can't just have sweet, or you just have it like a box of sugar. You have to have a little salt, a little pepper. Yeah. I personally love, like, the one moment, because they do such a good job of the show of actually showing that Hana is actually a young girl. She's not a character. She's a young little girl. And the best point I could see of this is when she gets drunk on orange juice. And, like, Michiko's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, shut the fuck up. You don't know me. It's like, you're drunk off of really nothing. Just genuine little girl characters are just the best fucking shit ever. You just don't see it very often.
Yeah.
She's a good old child. What about, like, where do you find that the most sweet young girls are being made nowadays in the good old Japanese?
What's our primary, our most prosperous mine of those sweet young girls? Probably KyoAni still. I mean, their rate of output isn't too high. It's, like 2 or 3 productions a year generally. But they strike gold every time. So I don't think there's anyone else who's matching them.
I find that it's kind of a tie right now between... This is kind of a weird one, but I think it's tied between kind of Gainax or Trigger, kind of.
Oh, yeah, Trigger's a strong one.
Trigger's doing a good job of the sweet young girl recently. I mean, obviously they're not intrinsically sweet young girls, but...
Oh my god, Luluko. I can't believe we forgot about her. She's so sweet.
Lucky,
so young.
I watched all of... When the live stream happened for Crunchyroll
Right.
and stuff like that. I watched all of Luluko in one sitting, and I cried.
Yeah.
It was so sweet. I didn't expect it to be so genuine and just
And I think that the aspect of sweet young girlhood that Luluko specifically encapsulates so well is the middle school love that it centers around her pure-hearted crush on Nova.
she's just so young, and she's just
so sweet.
like, she feels young at heart. She doesn't feel like a teenager in like an elementary schooler's body. She feels like a really young girl that's just like, and her ability to just take being denied and then just powering up and being like, no, fuck you, I fucking love you.
Yeah, I'm gonna rewrite the laws of the universe until I get what I want.
Well, it's even though that, like, she's like, I don't care if you fucking love me back. I love you anyways. And that,
Or yeah, not until I get what I want, until I can assert what I want and have the validity of that assertion bought into.
just her ability to just go head on and not exactly get what she wants, but rather just enforce herself as a force and be like, no, fuck you. I love this guy. I don't care if he's a fucking zombie boy. I love him anyways, and not any kind of try to remember the word. Fuck. Not any kind of way that he could push me away could stop me from loving this guy. And that's god, the fucking ending of fucking Space Patrol Luluko is
Like,
great.
so good.
So fucking good. It's like, it's almost borderline magical girl, and I fucking love it. It's great.
that's the highest compliment Mirage can give. It's magical girl. You know,
It's so like when this is gonna get spoilery. When the crystal heart pieces come together, I just had flashbacks to when like the Millennium Silver Crystal from Sailor Moon came up, and I was like, what the fuck? This is great. Why haven't I watched this yet? I feel like a piece of shit. Oh god, fucking. It's Gynex's Trigger and like Shaft that make these really strange, really off the beaten path kind of sweet girls.
Trigger is a little less reliable just because they have a bit broader of a range. Like the upcoming projects they've announced, I'm not sure how good the sweet young girl prospects are in those lands.
With the beefy burly man that's coming out in the next one.
Yeah,
and
but
the
for the
promo
2016-2017 production cycle, certainly with Luluko, with Little Witch Academia, and Kisniver, at the very least, I'd say Nico, that's pretty sure that was her name, is pretty sweet and pretty young, and Chio, our protagonist, a little bland, a little generic, not like too much to her, but suitably sweet and suitably young, I'd say.
Is she the one with the orange ponytails?
Yeah, she's a redhead.
She's pretty cute.
Childhood friend, yeah.
When it comes from a fashion sense, though, like, as like just somebody who just likes J fashion, like, a lot of her outfits are very fairy key or like party key-esque, and it's just, what a cutie.
We want to talk outfits. I think the queens of that at the moment are, well, I mean, KyoAni as always, but also PA Works. I love the adult working women aesthetic of PA Works. Sakura Quest is the one airing right now. They've done, Shirobako as well.
You have to have a really refined taste as a gentleman / woman to appreciate the adult working woman in
I love it. It's my favorite. I love adult working women getting drunk, which PA Works consistently does well. Like, Sakura Quest especially, they're just alcoholics. Because they've got a shitty job, like, trying to make this old rundown town something people will go to for some reason. And so every day, it just ends with them drinking themselves into a stupor. It's great.
I don't want them to come into town. I want to fucking drink my alcohol in my shitty little dive bar and fucking just
And the
cry.
variety of outfits, so good, so great.
That's the thing I see out of a lot of those shows is that they feel like they have a wardrobe, and that really lends to them like being human and kind of like material in their kind of world. I find that really interesting.
Yeah, it's something anime has like a really solid potential just to show off a bunch of cute clothes.
Definitely.
And it doesn't do that often. I mean, a lot of time just because a lot of the series have uniforms.
Yeah.
So when it does, it stands out, and it's something that's really satisfying to see.
That's the thing, kind of going off on a tiny bit of a tangent, that's the kind of thing I'd like to see more in shows, though, is, like, take this kind of, like, it's the best example and the most wide-strung example I could think of, but, like, the Lightning Final Fantasy approach, where, like, they model clothes for brands and stuff like that. I'd like to see more of that, where, like, I want more fashion-centric shows like Princess Jellyfish and stuff like that. Really, it would be quite interesting and quite intriguing. I also want... here's a sweet girl thing that's, like, not particularly a girl, but just rather just a concept. I want a serious maid cafe anime. Like, a serious one where it's, like, talking about the inner workings of running a maid cafe and these girls who are working all in a maid cafe together. And
that could be a PA Works show, to be honest.
I would pay so much fucking money to see that happen. Because, like, maid cafes have always been this kind of haven to me of sweet young girls that, you know, of course they're working, but they're being passionate about their work, and they do little magic spells on your Amu Raisu, and you feel like a good boy, and then you leave, and then they're probably all haggard out, and they're like, God, that fucking asshole, fuck him, God, like, back to the next customer. Or, like, even the girls who are like, no, I love people, and this is my way of getting to know people. Like, why can't PA Works get the fuck on that? What the fuck? I need that in my life.
Have you seen the Tsundere Maid Cafe?
No, I didn't. That's a pretty intimidating experience, it sounds like.
Yeah, there's a sort of group of comedians. Their like big thing they're famous for is they do a big Batsu game, I think, punishment game, every year, where it's like 24 hours. They're in some resort and they have people with blowguns who shoot them whenever they laugh. And there's a bunch of comedians trying to make each other laugh to screw each other over. It's great. But there's a video on YouTube of them going to a tsundere, or maybe it's not even tsundere, it's just like aggressive and mean-spirited maid cafe, where all the maids are not happy to be working there, and they just sort of yell at you and ask why your order's taking so long, and you ask for ketchup, and they just like dump the bottle on your omelet rice.
I need links after this, dude.
Yeah, I'll look you up.
You can't do this to me. I gotta watch this shit. Which, I think we both have a natured respect for tsunderes in this room. And
yeah.
We gotta talk about the sweetest girl that's also the bitchiest girl. The girl of all girls is Asuka.
Yeah.
Who's the best. And then, as Joji runs the room, that's Gilbert? No, like, honestly though, like, divorcing it from Evangelion, Asuka is such a fun, interesting character. Fun, interesting character.
Yeah.
Asuka means a lot to me. I find that her embracing her anger issues and then on top of it dealing with them while piloting the Eva is really quite admirable and pretty sweet, even though she's angry most of the time.
Yeah. She's angry for a reason.
Yeah. I like to put her in like the sweet, angry little burb kind of category where she's just an angry little pigeon on the road and she's like, what the fuck? Give me your fucking fries!
Not that I want them anyway.
Buck. Oh god. I mean, Rei is obviously a pretty sweet girl herself, but I don't know. I find that Asuka is like the most typically anime kind of like character in Evangelion almost, not counting Shinji or anything.
Probably.
And I just fucking love her. She's just fucking great. And that red hair done well in anime.
Yeah,
the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Crybaby. Let's see here.
If we're talking Gainax girls, if we're talking Eva, you gotta go back to the beginning. Okay, you gotta really go back to the beginning. And Daikon 3, Daikon 4.
The bunny girl?
I'm not even sure if she has a name, but the main girl there. And the real pathos of her character, for me, is her growing up in between 3 and 4. And I always imagine stepping into those halls, the lights drop, the projector starts up, and you see who was your little girl back 2 years prior. And then all of a sudden, this brilliant grown-up version of her, it brings tears to my eyes. Just how far she comes in the gap between those two shorts.
It's so genuine. People are so genuine about their love of Daikon 4, and I just find it really... Again, I'm kind of a new school otaku. I don't watch a lot of old stuff other than Magical Girl old stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, just people's passion for Daikon 4 and the Bunny Girl just make me so happy. And it just is really a testament to how much work and passion the creative team did put into making that itself and making it a thing. They really did care about that character, and she's really cool. She's still kind of the mascot for pretty much the studio in general, almost.
Yeah, she's definitely iconic.
Yeah. Even though I don't hear a lot of people talk about her outside of the OVA. It's an OVA? ONA?
I'm not even it's like technically maybe an OVA-ish thing. It's just a short film.
Like, again, on a tangent again, the ending scene where you just see everybody. You just see everybody from that era of anime. Just,
and pop culture generally. Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. Getting back into Sweet Young Girls, if we want to stick with kind of the untraditional kind of sense, I like Stalking for being a heel turn Sweet Young Girl.
Yeah.
She's the episode where she's dating the goo man and everything, and she gets into her sweet Lolita outfit, and she's just like, "Do you want your food? I'll make you some food." She's just pure and cute and adorable, and her image song for Chocolate is fucking great. And fucking Panty Stalking is like, I don't know why, I'm just so passionate about this show. I just love it so much.
Season 2 when?
It's so good. Season 2 when, definitely. I don't know if it even needs it. I think it can go like the Fooly Cooly route, just being like, no, fuck you. You don't get all the answers. You get some of them.
We do now, because we've got Fooly Cooly season 2.
I don't want to talk about that, dude. I like the mystery, actually. I'm starting to like this whole thing of like, no, we don't need the second season. Although I just want more. I want more of that art. That art. I feel like the art was a really big reason of why I think Stalking was the sweet girl of the show, because it was such a coin flip between, is she going to be a sassy little bitch this episode, or is she going to be a pure little good girl, good girl, pretty much. I'm looking right now at my waifu list, and I'm just realizing everybody has either pink, purple, or light blackish hair.
It's very good. It's very good.
How about for you, a lesser known, underappreciated sweet girl?
Underappreciated sweet girl. Let's see. Let's go through the annals of sweet girldom. to find one who's been lost to history.
Oh, we're gonna have to go into the annals of time.
Hopefully not the annals of time. The annals.
Annals, I don't know.
You can tell one of us is about to go to sleep and the other just woke up.
My personal underutilized, underrecognized sweet girl is Amawarashi from Triple X Holic. She's so cute. She's so good, and I love her. She's pretty much a water spirit that has a huge crush on Kimihiro Watanuki, and she's like, oh, I really like you. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it too much though. And there's like a whole episode dedicated to her accidentally stealing Watanuki's heart in an ohagi, and like her just being like, I'm not trying to steal your soul or anything, dude. I'm just so shy. I was gonna give you this ohagi, but I didn't want to bother you. I didn't want to trouble you.
I love her.
She's so cute. And everybody's like, no, you dumbass. Kimihiro is in the fucking, like, ohagi. It's like, no, he isn't. I'm just gonna go back to my mountain. Bye. She's so cute. I love her. Oh, jeez, criminy. Did you find your girl, by the way?
Yeah. I've got a real strong one here. From Nia under 7, which few people will know about, but the most people would recognize it as a Yoshitoshi Abe show. So he's the character designer for Serial Experiments Lane, Technolize, and then Hibane Renmei. And like Hibane Renmei, Nia under 7 is an adaptation of a doujin he had that got expanded into a full television series in the early 2000s.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
Why did I know about this?
It's real good. And you could pick a couple. There's sort of two incarnations of Sweet Young Girl, with Nia, who's dumb, just dumb leech, hang on. But she's got a real sense of pathos to her. The basic premise is that aliens have sort of crash landed on Earth and just sort of live there. And these aliens have a caste system, and Nia's at the bottom rung of that. And then it stars our protagonist, Mayu, who's just this poor college student trying to juggle her studies and a job, or maybe a pair of jobs she maintains. And it's really about poor young working college life. That's the core of the series. And watching Mayu be so driven, but not in the typical sort of Genki upbeat manner, and sort of this harried and beaten down manner, where she's trying to get through life, man, but it is tough going. But she's gonna keep trying.
Definitely.
It's really cool to see, because I mean, for one, we don't get older characters in general a lot, but especially a character like her. She's sort of an even more grounded version of the protagonist of Sakura Quest.
I wanted to say something. I'm just trying to remember the exact name of the person, because there's so many different minds behind like shows like Serial Experiments Lane and stuff. But I guess the best person I could point to is Chiaki J. Konaka or something like that, or like.
Yeah. Abe wasn't like super involved in either Lane or Technolize in sort of the writing or the concept or that. He's mostly the design work. Whereas Nia Under 7 and Hibane Renmei are more works that he created. And you can definitely see a sort of a similarity between these two.
But it's like a lot of like stuff that falls in the Neo 7 or Serial Experiments Lane or Despera or something. Just the aesthetic of rather the girls and the art and like their being is almost automatically sweet girl to me. And just so, but like not in the traditional sense of like the
what the fuck? Hold on, a 6.96 rating on Mal.
Of what? Nia?
That's an outrage for Nia under 7.
Oh jeez.
That's I'm heated now.
You're like,
my
I gotta
cheeks
make a
are
fucking
puffed
video
out.
about this.
I've got an indignant pout on my face now.
I don't
that
believe
is
you.
Unacceptable.
Because I've only heard praise about Nia under 7, honestly. I've only ever heard praise. So I need to, and I've literally been trying to like crusade myself through Lane. I mean, even though I know it's like a fucking masterpiece in itself, I'm just trying to like understand everything still. And I have Hibernate Reme in a box.
Oh, it's so good. You made a great point about Abe, though. His art is fantastic. Have you seen he did a handful of Evangelion illustrations?
I don't think I have, honestly.
Yeah, if you Google Yoshitoshi Abe Evangelion, his renditions of that are fantastic. Really captivating stuff. And he's got his own specific brand of sweet young girl, but it's one that I'm a massive fan of.
It's almost ethereal. That's the thing I was gonna say. A lot of his art, like, because it's so otherworldly almost, and how it's drawn, and how, like, the characters he draws especially, like, take on this different light of just almost loneliness.
Yeah, if you see his Asuka, which is the second result when I Google imaged it, that loneliness is there.
It's beautiful.
In full force. Yeah.
It's like, I would...
And he also has a Kiri now, if you needed some Ore no Imoto fix from Yoshitoshi Abe.
See, even that, like, even people could argue, like, the like,
it's captivating.
Really intrinsic loneliness, almost. And, like...
And the frills on her skirt.
Oh, yeah, that's also great, too. I just, oh, gosh, there's just something so... there's just something so beautiful about his art that just makes girls automatically sweet, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. I just, I can't.
Some of his, like, more psychosexual horror stuff maybe downplays the sweetness and youngness.
Oh, definitely.
Almost inherently sweet and young, for sure.
It's just particularly his girls, like, that just stick out to me so much. Going back to the Nekoparche, Sayori also draws some sweet ass young girls, and I like when you look especially at visual novel art, especially if you go back or forward, there's like a lack of almost fidelity to how those designs stand up over time.
Yeah.
But the thing personally that sticks to me, especially about Nekoparo's designs as well, they are sugary and cutesy and very 2010-ish. They're very... I could see these actual designs standing up for a long time. Obviously, they're not iconic or anything, but rather it's always about, like, incorporating round or rather just soft elements to a character to make them almost the intrinsic sweet girl. And, like... And then when you do that heel turn, they're even sweeter because they're just like, they have so much complexity and depth to them. Just, it's so good.
I just Google image 7. These are very, very sweet, very young girls.
Very sweet, very young. Very, very fuckable also. But yes, sweet and young. There's also, and that's why it's sometimes honestly hard for, I think, people to get into the sweet young aesthetic of, like, key novels. Of, like, it's so 90s that it's almost
it's very
creepy.
saccharine.
It's almost creepy. You gotta have to be very balanced about it, almost. Gosh, jeez. Are there any some really unorthodox ones, like particularly from just different media that you really like? Sweet young girls.
I'd say one of the very sweetest and the very youngest girls is oh no, what's the name? Hold on.
It's okay.
Hold on.
Okay, Daddy.
No.
The Trooper Tapper.
How did I forget the name?
How could this happen to me?
Hold on. Kunihiko Ikuhara.
Yes.
He wore a Sailor Moon cosplay once, so he counts as a girl. That's my
Oh,
metric.
you're talking about that.
You're officially a girl.
Kunihiko
cosplays
Ikuhara
Sailor
is
Moon.
fantastic. His brand particularly of Sweet Girl though is something so retro and so fucking timeless that
Oh, it's so good.
you just can't. There's
Oh, did you hear? He's got a new series in development.
what? No
There was a
way.
website, and it's like a new project. We're hiring.
What?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Like it's Sayo Yamamoto, Kunihiko Ikuhara, and fucking Shinichiro Watanabe. That like whenever I hear they're doing something new, I'm like, yes, I need this in my life.
It was something Dream, maybe? I forget what it was.
I don't know, but I'm gonna research this highly. I need to talk about this at some point. His particular brand though of Sweet Girl, when it comes down to, they're almost not girls, they're almost women. They're sweet women.
Yeah.
That like, but they're so girlish in their nature that
I think for something like Yori Kuma Arashi, it explores girlhood a bit more, but Revolutionary Girl Utena, it's definitely sort of the cusp of womanhood and grappling with what that entails.
or like Mawaru Penguin Drum, just like the girls that he like works with are just so eclectic almost. And oh god, they're just so good. They're just so different. They're so different than like the normal kind of like anime girl that would be a sweet girl almost. They're so classic and very just outstanding. I
love them.
Well, like this isn't a sweet girl thing particularly, but just a thing to Kunihiko Ikuhara is that his influence on something is so noticeable when you watch so much Sailor Moon to the point when you get to S and you're just like, what the fuck is going on? It feels totally different and a lot darker. I didn't expect this at all.
Aesthetic overload.
And like the
I
art
love the
changes
movie.
almost a little bit, and like takes from this kind of like less chicken scratchy kind of drawings almost like to a more, I don't know how to describe it. Like the lines look a lot cleaner and just flatter. It's like it's almost flat. That like, but it's not a flat that's like bad. It's very, oh god. Everything Kunihiko Ikuhara did to Sailor Moon is just fantastic. So
the movie, is it Sailor Moon R, the movie maybe that he directed?
Yeah.
Total aesthetic overload.
Promise of a Rose also has so many fucking like, it's so pre-Utena. It's so pre-Utena that you can feel it in its bone. That's one of my favorite movies. And then like I just watched Utena and I was like, what the fuck? This is just this movie, but it's a series and it's great.
And then you can watch Adolescence of Utena, which is just that movie, but a series, but a movie. Have you seen Adolescence yet?
Yeah, I've seen Adolescence. I watched it a few years ago. It was fucking a drug trip and a half, but I loved it. It was great. Every moment was fantastic. Oh gosh, all of fucking Kunihiko Ikuhara's girls are just the best. I don't think a lot of people talk about Mawaru Penguin Drum, like mainly because I think it just kind of flew under people's radars mostly.
Yeah.
I don't know, jeez. Jeez. So many sweet girls. I have a strange amount, actually, of, like, Western cartoon sweet young girls, actually. That...
Oh, yeah. No, there's definitely mentions there that deserve mention.
Starfire from Teen Titans is the sweetest little potato girl that ever did live. I don't like her comic counterpart, but I like her Teen Titans counterpart. She's very, very round, very ganky, very cute, very good. 10 out of 10. And then, like, if you wanted to count Raven, because I have to count Raven.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Raven is the pure sweetest girl, just by her nature just being so standoffish, but on top of it, just being like, alright, dude, sup, bro? She just lays on the floor and she's like, I like you.
Oh, yeah. Raven is captivating.
Raven's just... There's just... I don't know how to describe her is the problem. She's deadpan, but she's not deadpan. She's really expressive almost.
Yeah.
And...
It's like because she's so deadpan, all of her expressiveness is way more subtle, and it's these little things that give away what she's thinking at the time. Her emotions aren't expressed in this big flamboyant manner. And like, so you're drawn in.
Because Raven exists, this is why I guess I have a problem with Rey from Evangelion, is because I feel like almost Teen Titans did the deadpan Kudere like a lot better, and they're not even fucking anime.
Interesting comparison.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't like Rey because I love Raven too much, and I can't top Raven on top of my list because I love Burn Crastle from Yumi Neko no Nakagorani too much. I fucking love Rika from Higurashi. I love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, okay, this is the weirdest place to find sweet young girls, but Higurashi is like the bed, the seed bed of sweet young girls that are also horrible murderers.
Yeah.
Oh god, I love... There's so much passion for Higurashi, I feel. I can't...
I wonder who would my sweetest and youngest Higurashi be? Let's see.
Like, if we just want to divorce the part where they kill people.
Yeah. I'm probably on that Shion train.
Shion's like fucking crazy.
Maybe Mion. Definitely love the aesthetic they've got going.
They're like a flippy dippy thing. I almost like count them as one person. I think at one point like people are just like, so they're pretty much just the same person. They're just not also, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
They're like clones. They're literally like clones of each other almost. And yet they lead two different lives. That's the coolest part about them. Oh god, it's a tie between Satoko and Rika. I really like Reina. Reina's great. Reina's like the jump to sweet girl, but I don't know. I really fucking love Rika. Simply because no, fuck it. Rika's the best sweet girl in the fucking series. Fuck everybody. Because she's went through so much fucking shit I'm not gonna spoil the mystery, of course, but she's went through so much fucking shit in the story of the timelines that like you can't just like say like, oh, Sadako is better because she got beaten by her dad. I'm sorry. Look, child abuse, one thing. Going through parallel dimensions and being killed multiple times, totally another thing.
I mean, Rena would agree that Rika is the sweetest and the youngest.
Oh, so. She would. She'd also say Colonel Sanders is the sweetest and the youngest too, but we're not going to get into that. But
all along, Colonel Sanders was the sweetest.
Colonel Sanders was the true sweet girl. I want art. I want art of Colonel Sanders in a maid outfit.
I'm sure.
Did you like my chicken, Desu? Goshotin-sama, my chicken.
Or a Santa outfit, because KFC is a Christmas tradition.
Oh, yes.
Like a Yui Santa outfit.
A maid Santa outfit with his bucket of chicken. He's an old man still. He's rocking the whole outfit with heels and everything. He's like, Goshotin-sama, your chicken. the Colonel Sanders, best girl. I'm making an emote for that for the Discord. I need it.
That's a patron only emote. It's like special.
Gosh damn, fucking great. No, fucking Higurashi and Yumi Neko is great. I think the reason why I like Rika is because she's so crossovered in most of Ryukashi 07's like work that like everybody just fucking likes her. She's just fucking great. She's great. I love her. 10 out of 10.
We could go forever with this, but I think there's one more at least that deserves mention.
One more. So many.
Going back to the Sailor Moon lineage, Junichi Sato is a creator, or director at least, of many good, sweet young girls. You've got Aria, Ojamaja Doremi. Yes. I think he did Princess Tutu. Yep. He did Amanchu.
Yes.
Tamayura. I mean, just a wellspring of very sweet and very young girls is Junichi Sato.
Junichi Sato is just... He understands young girls better than young girls understand themselves, almost. And I don't understand why. It's so amazing. How can this old 57-year-old man understand little girls so well? I don't want his Bill Cosby moment to come out, dude. I don't want it. I don't want it.
Put that idea in God's head. Don't do it.
But no, genuinely, like, Princess Tutu's fucking fantastic, and he does the girls such a good service. Ojamajo Doremi has the most realistic little kids, and the most sweetest of girls, just on general, that just are fantastic, and they're great, and I love them. I love them all.
And his film, Junkers Come Here, stars another sweet young girl. It's about her and her talking dog. I think the dog talks. Yeah. And gives her wishes.
That's so great. Oh god, it's so great.
Yeah, and that film centers around her sort of struggles with various aspects of adolescence, her parents being busy working, and an older male figure that she has a crush on is getting married. So very resonant aspects of female adolescence, of the sweet young girl experience.
The cover for it looks kind of garbage. Low-key, I'm looking at it actually on Wikipedia, but the dog, he looks so fuzzy, so dignified. That's so the best girl as well too. Best dog.
To only Yesterday in terms of its overall aesthetic style.
That's interesting. I like that. I like that. I can't wait till we get to do Takahata cast.
Yeah.
Can't wait. So you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, we've talked about fucking... this is just it's a circle jerk of young girls, pretty much. You want some honorable mentions?
You want
just
a mental
throw some
image?
stuff
out? Sure.
Okay. Just gonna ream off my fucking waifu list. Kana from Kobayashi. Yeah. Do we really have to talk about this at this point? Really?
No, if only for time's sake, because that could be a whole cast.
Yeah. Nozomi from Love Live. She's another sweet girl. Very good. 10 out of 10. Fucking... gosh. Just so many girls. So many girls. Not really a sweet girl. She's kind of a spicy mixture of sweet. She's the jalapeno in your chocolate bar. Catwoman. She's great. She's sweet because she's a good girl and she's really tough. 10 out of 10. And top one that goes on the list. Luca, Vocaloid. She's sweet because her voice is sweet. There you go. What's yours? Honorable mentions.
Back to UBK Euphonium. Gotta have Asuka in there. You thought Asuka Langley Soryu had topped Asuka for all time, but maybe not. She's got a competitor. Very, very sweet girl. Who else we got? Hibane Renmei. A lot of sweet girls there. They're all sweet, I would say.
Down.
We brought her up when we went to Kanahanazawa, the Kawamoto sisters from Sangatsu no Lion.
Yeah.
Very, very sweet. Not all of them young, all sweet. Those are my sleeper picks.
Sex with the young.
No. Not sex with the young sweet girls.
Sex with the old. Oh no.
Sex with the of legal age.
Sex with the 18 plus. Please don't sue me. Oh jeez. Oh gosh. I think we've come to a conclusion, guys, today. I think we've realized that all girls are sweet young girls.
Yes. Every girl is a sweet young girl.
Every girl. Yes. That's been the podcast.
Bye.
Do we want to do questions or anything?
Oh, I forgot. We might have questions, right?
It's okay. We'll cut through this and stuff like that. Are you going to be the one editing this, or am I going to be the one editing it?
I'll edit the audio.
Okay. Because we can just probably cut out the silences and stuff. I thought it might be a good idea, though.
I don't even know how to podcast anymore. I totally forgot about questions.
God, we have so many more questions than last time. Jesus criminy. Okay. So we're just gonna move on to questions now. Let's see here. So, if you don't have your name in the question that you left on our forum, sorry, buddy, you're not gonna get mentioned. But if you'd like to, you can do that, and you get mad props. 10 out of 10. Cookie points for you.
Yeah.
So this is, if you had to shill a company or a product in each of your videos from now on, including this podcast, what would it be and why?
A company or product.
I personally, it would be anything magical girl related.
Yeah.
Any kind of, there's Yume Box, I believe, that does magical girly-esque kind of items or stuff. Anything that falls into my aesthetic, or rather just the stuff that I personally like, I would push the crap out of it anyways. So being paid for it would make me happier. In general, that's me.
I think my largest expenditure in recent months has been clothing. So some clothing company that can hook me up.
You're gonna MeUndies that bitch?
My shopping addiction. MeUndies.
I'm in the whole pie, dude. I listen to everything. But yeah.
There was a 80% off dress sale today I got an email about, and I couldn't hold back.
Aw. That'd be pretty. I don't know. Anything really. I don't want something that's already been used a lot. I could do a Bookwalker one. I could do Bookwalker. I wouldn't mind doing it.
You want some behind the scenes info. Bookwalker pays really well, so that's a plus.
I mean, I don't mind supporting especially light novels coming over here. Mm-hmm. I don't mind supporting that at all. So, and if they keep doing their thing, I'm happy to support them and have them pay me. So
yeah,
I mean, obviously one that I personally wouldn't want to do, but I know that I'd do it at some point, is probably Crunchyroll. It's just a fall-in kind of thing, really. But that I've heard that that affiliate link is just fucking hard to get.
Yeah, I mean, for that one, it's pretty simple. It's just, if you're gonna sign up for a free trial, click this link and I get a few bucks. So it's very low investment on the part of the person shilling it. So I don't see an issue with that one.
Yeah. It's really just a key about what you guys like to hear and what kind of brands we think you'd like to purchase from rather than anything else. We already know you all have Crunchyroll subscriptions or have at least tried the free trial. We know that we know that you already have a loot crate. You've already fucking thrown out half of your loot crate. We don't want to make you have to shove another loot crate in. it's really about what you guys want. I have like a few places that I'd love to sponsor. It's just a question of getting bigger, rather.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I'm trying to find something that's why does anime slash manga try to extend their lifespan? A look at the nature of the competitive market surrounding anime, manga, serialization. This scroll is okay. I guess they're just asking a question about like the why does anime try to extend its lifespan?
Anime, I wouldn't say has much of a tendency to do that, but they mentioned manga and I think light novels, and those certainly do. I mean, one of the big issues with those mediums, I think, is their tendency to be structured around lasting as long as possible, oftentimes to their own detriment.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, I know the answer and I don't like it, but it's pretty much just money.
Yep.
You're just trying to make more money, and it's not always about art. Like, it's really kind of about getting the Shonen Jump sold for the month or anything. Like, it's really about that at the end of the day. I mean, there are cases of it though that should have just ended because it also impacted the work in itself, like Death Note or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. It's just a sad reality of an industry that is an industry that's based in the arts. Let's see here. And you want to answer like one more?
Yeah.
What are the differences between a good adaptation and bad? When adaptations are better than the original, something like that.
I mean, I think it's not so such a set dichotomy where there's good and bad. I think it varies based upon what you're adapting, but in general, I think a bad adaptation is one that fails to sort of take account of the medium it's adapting that work into, and what specifically needs to be changed or rearranged to make it work in that medium and take advantage of its strengths.
Like, if we're not just talking specifically about anime also too, it's really a question of the source material and what the source material is. Like, what are the people, even though it's a good adaptation in most people's eyes and it's just on my mind right now, I don't feel like Game of Thrones is meant to be a TV series. I find that a lot of it is based in rather the drama of literature in itself. And then there's also like pieces like Watchmen that are just meant for the comic format.
Yeah.
Like, it's really a question of your understanding of, again, the medium and also the piece of work in itself and its abilities to stretch and span, I think. It's also about the people that are behind it. Like, this is an adaptation. It's rather just a reimagining, but Sonic Mania, I find, is one of the best examples of rather that you have to have an understanding of what you're passionate about, and unless you have people that are passionate, it's not going to come through.
Yeah, Sonic Mania isn't an adaptation, but it's a sort of an example of the general spirit you need to have for a good adaptation, which is taking sort of the core essence and appeal of the work and recreating that appeal. And it's something Sonic itself had been failing to do for a while now in many people's eyes.
Yeah.
And they were able to take what people think makes Sonic, and give us another entry that exhibited those traits. And that's sort of what you have to do with any sort of adaptation. It's take out that core appeal of the work and recreate it in a new medium.
Do you have a personal, like, a series that, the adaptation is almost better than the original work itself? Do you have something like that for you? I have something. I have, like, My personal one is Kuro no Kyokai. I've tried to read these like the translated, like fan translated light novel, and the thing is like it just benefits so much more from the atmosphere that the OVAs do for it. So that's me personally.
I mean, I just watched Koi no Katachi. I'm been like going super hard putting a video on that together, and I didn't read the source manga yet, so I can't confirm this, but I have a feeling that I'll probably, if I do end up reading that manga, prefer the movie, just because what Naoko Yamada did with her adaptation and the extent to which she utilized the medium is something I really appreciate.
Something that rather the source material is better for, but the adaptation is worse off. Not that it's probably the question, but just something I'm thinking about is rather I'm kind of starting to feel this for Made in Abyss, to be honest. I maybe it's just the pacing and where we are at in the series at the moment. It's not finished, of course, but I find that the manga has a better way of expressing fear and tension.
Yeah.
And
I saw I haven't read the manga, but I saw sort of comparisons of Ozen as presented in the manga versus sort of the matching angles and frames from the anime, and just the thick black and white illustrative style she's rendered, and allows her to be more menacing than the anime pulls off.
It feels like, not to make this Made in Abyss cast, of course, it feels like Ozen now, especially in the watching the episodes that she is in the anime, she's like a watered down diet version, while like in the manga, maybe it's because of the medium that, again, this is a testament, you have to understand the medium you're in, and translating that fear, that monstrousness, that almost sociopathy that Ozen has from the manga is really hard to do, and it was just perfect in the still shots that she was.
Yeah. I mean, it might have clashed stylistically, but I almost feel like they could have used harmonies for those really intimidating shots of Ozen just to hammer that home.
I think I do, yeah. I don't know. What about you? Is there like a specific like adaptation that like you think could be better, but the source material is just so much better in general, period?
I
don't know, because like I'm usually the positive type that actually,
yeah,
it's really dependent on what I watch first and versus what I like consume later and my preference on it rather than anything. I mean,
nothing stands out in particular.
I think it's rather, I mean, even if like the series is good, like stuff like Berserk or something like that, or even Bakuman.
Yeah, Berserk
like,
would be one.
They're pieces that just haven't been finished, and because they haven't particularly been finished, or rather given a definitive ending, that like it's unsatisfying, and the source material is automatically kind of better in that kind of way. Yeah. Anyhow, that's been Sweet Girl Cast with me and not Joji Matthews. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Sorry, Lachlan. Yeah. Do you have anything to really say before we close up?
I like girls.
Girls are pretty good, honestly. Titties would touch 20 out of 20. Great. As you know, we also have a Discord fan chat. If you're not a part of it, we will link it in the description. And we will get back to you on any kind of changes if we do end up making a Patreon soon or not. Episodes will come bi-weekly. Yes?
That's the plan, bi-weekly from now on, yeah.
Yes, bi-weekly. And we hope you forgive us for our lack of content. I don't know. I'm pretty satisfied. I'm pretty happy. And I'm pretty happy with all the people who have been in the chat. It's chill. It's very very not too active, but it's good. It's a good community. You should come join. Anyhow, you want to close it up, Flock?
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Bye.